Hi everybody, welcome to a very special Big Fish, Little Fish. Congratulations on making it through 2020. Craig Thompson, it's Woodland Stud Auckland Cup night and a historic night because it's the last night we get to talk about for a while the All-Stars on a night they're likely to dominate.
Yeah, compliments of the season to you, Michael, and to the viewers as well. It is. Hopefully it's only a short-term layoff and we get them back in maybe a year's time. They're having a hiatus and things will change around the All-Stars barn with Hayden Cullen taking over, Michael, but it's still going to be a big operation and Mark will still be driving. So we haven't lost him completely.
No, we haven't. The feature of the night, obviously, first race there goes at 3:53, so it's sort of a twilightish thing. The Cup goes at 8:15. Quite remarkably, Craig Thompson, this is actually the last race the All-Stars will compete in. And I think they'll win it. I think they'll win it with Spankham. I think they have a good second string, an Amazing Dream. Ashley Locas not that far behind her. But in my mind's eye, it could be a race to the first bend. I think whoever leads out of Spankham or copy that, Craig, becomes the horse to beat. And I'm thinking that's going to be Spankham.
More than likely, Michael, on these standing start manners that we've seen. If you go back to the Franklin Cup, they were beside each other off the handicap last time, and Spankham was clearly faster away. They've drawn beside each other tonight, so I see him probably getting to the front of copy. That, as you say, may be the winning and losing of the race. If Spankham gets there, he's got an option. He could hand to one of his stable mates, more than likely being Amazing Dream. If Copy That gets there, there'll be no handing to anybody. So I think everything at the start, Morris is going to be very quick away. As you say, 240. Talking to Matthew Peden this afternoon from the bookmakers, they've got a massive multi going on him on Sunday Sun for about 48,000, but they're not actually taking any individual bets on him at the moment, Michael. What I did say to Matthew is they tend to come for Spankham late. At the moment, they're coming for Copy That in the last 24 hours. His track work's been great. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. But like you, I'm Spankham to win the Cup this year.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of the New Zealand Cup back in November. I thought out of self-assured the Copy That whoever got there first would win. I think it may not be quite as cut and dried. There's a little bit of doubt over Spankham at 2 miles, but he won the Methven Cup coming from last over 3,000 metres. I'm not as convinced he's not a 2 mile. I'm not saying it's his best distance, but I also think the Alexandra Park 2 miles, Craig, isn't usually as testing as the Addington 2 miles.
Agreed. And also the depth of this year's Cup, Michael, with no self-assured in here and a few of the big players not available to race. It's an easier 2 miles tonight than he's going to get at any other stage. And if you remember, his Cup campaign was hindered by a lot of injuries. He didn't have an ideal lead into the Cup, and he still won a great race on a very short preparation. He franked that with a very good free-for-all win, and then he's gone on to win the Franklin Cup. If he's ever going to win a 2 mile race, a Group 1 2 mile race, it should be tonight.
What do you make of Amazing Dream? I think the bookies have had her unders for a long time. I love the horse. I absolutely love the horse as a mare. I like her in open class racing. She's yet to win an open class race, but she has to have many opportunities to do so. But I've still been surprised she opened as the second favourite. I know she won't start second favourite. Copy That will for sure. But I'm surprised she opened second favourite.
Right price is probably around $5, Michael. I mean, she was okay away the other day, but she's in between the favourites here. And you're right, she hasn't won an open class race, but she has won a derby and she beat the second favourite for the Cup and Copy That in the derby, so he was luckless. I think she's going okay. Whether she can win a Cup this year, I'm not too sure, Michael. I just think she'll benefit from having 12 months into this grade, and she's not quite there yet, but if she happened to find the front, gee, she's a very good stayer, and it'd take a good horse to run her down. I think if she found the front, even a Spankham on her back is not guaranteed to get past her.
Yeah, well, they were thinking she's not a natural front runner, both in her win and when she got beaten last time. That's why they handed up. They think she's not a front runner, but I know what you're saying. In front might be a different kettle of fish. Let's stick to the pacing races. The Mares race, the first of the pacing races, is race 5 of the Group 1s. And Better Twist is $1.40, and I think she'll win. But I do think $1.40 short enough, considering Mark Jones has declared with La Rosa will be staying in front, which means there's not many easy ways for Better Twist to win.
Probably what will aid her chances, Michael, is Darling Me. They put the pull-up blinds on her, and I guarantee they'll go forward with her and have a quick shot at the front. Now, whether she can get across La Rosa, I'm not too sure, but there may be enough pressure that Better Twist can drop in somewhere. I mean, this is probably the best draw she's ever had. She's still going to have to do it tough, and she may have to be outside La Rosa again. But you carry a deflated tyre and beating a very good horse last time, Michael. I thought she had every right to lose that race. So, mate, they haven't been in it yet, and I'm not suggesting that won't happen again tonight.
No, I think she'll probably win. I just think $1.40 is close enough to the mark for a horse who's not going to lead, but yeah, she'll probably sit parked and win. The Pacing Boys race 7, the New Zealand Bloodstock Standard Bred Harness Millions, made a lot trickier by the barrier draw. No favours for American Dealer, BD Joe, Shan Noble. I'm not sure how the early shuffle up's going to go. A first class lead's good for Shan Noble. I think he'll get crossed by Mr. Fantastic. I keep coming back to American Dealer because I know he can come from back in the field to beat these horses. I've seen no proof the other favourites can do so.
Agreed. I just couldn't take $3 about a horse that's starting from the outside of the front. That's not your leader, and will have to go back into the pack to win this race. But probably to even that up, as all the other favourites are drawn a little bit awkwardly as well. You're right, Mr. Fantastic probably maps to lead. I mean, the good analysts use a map to work out how they're going to race, and BD Joe follows them through. So he's going to get a great run through on the back of Mr. Fantastic. He's $7.50. Had he drawn front row, he's half that quote. I mean, Shan Noble's drawn 1 the second row. The first class leads, if you're bidding in through the markets offshore, through the running, he'd be $2, Michael. So there's plenty of ways this race could pan out, but you've got to settle on something. I'd probably be on Shan Noble's case this way. The reason I say that, because I think he's always a horse I've never liked. I've always thought there's always 2 or 3 better than him, but I did like his run at Auckland last time, where he sat outside and went 2:38, and American Dealer had the softer trip and only just got him. If he can get off the market pegs, or if he can trail, I think he can win the race. But boy, it's a difficult race to bet into, because I couldn't take $3 about American Dealer, and the others are all drawn very awkwardly.
Yep, yeah, I agree. Shan Noble gets the right run. I think he becomes the horse to beat, but I'm not totally sure American Dealer may now go forward here and get the lead off Mr. Fantastic. That's what I think might happen. That's the paces. Well, some of the paces done for the day. The trotting race is a beauty. This time last week, you were tipping Bolt for Brilliance. I was tipping Sunday Sun. We're both wrong. I think one of us is going to be right if we stick to those 2 horses tonight in the national trot. I will stick with Sunday Sun, but yes, a few moving parts to this. And I think Sunday Sun was actually just below his best last week, Craig. I think his white blood cell count might have been out. I think it'll improve for tonight.
I think both of them will improve, Michael. As I said, it was a tricky race for him last week. He was always probably have to sit parked out in a mile. Cambridge is a pretty easy mile for Majestic Man. I think he'll be in front again for Brad Williamson. He may not be handing. I thought maybe after last week, I thought which one of the 2 favourites can rough him up early would be the one to beat. Gee, there's a bit of confidence in the camp that Majestic Man will be a leader, and he's not guaranteed to hand to either one of those 2. So it makes a really intriguing contest. That means Sunday Sun's outside him. Well, he was good enough to do that when he beat Majestic Man in that fantastic duel that they had a fortnight ago. The big improver is Bolt for Brilliance. He probably was 1 spot back too far last week in the mile. Tricky Rick got into the 1-1. He pushed him 3 back the outer. I got him home in very good sectionals, 55.9. I think there's natural improvement in him. I just like him as a horse. I just think he's just the up-and-comer. So if you're willing to take $2 about Sunday Sun, I couldn't tip against him. But I will say that Bolt for Brilliance, he's just on the up and up, and the other ones had a pretty long campaign.
Okay, it's a great program. It comes from the smallest races in the support program, but the big races are obviously excellent. I thought a really interesting race was Kango versus Christians Have Time versus Typo. The number 1 scratch there now. I think Typo's the leader, and that gives Todd Mitchell options of whether he wants to hand to Kango or whether he wants to stay there.
I think you'll get crossed off by Kelly's Delight if they want to come forward. It's been the quickest horse off the gate, maps to lead the race. Then Todd has options to come back round again, and that would be the smart way to go. I'll be tipping Typo. I just thought he gets into the right race with the right draw, because he's either the leader or the trailer, and either way he can win the race. There was not much between him and Kango a month ago, Michael, and I reckon that gap's even closed even more at the moment.
Yep.
Exceptional horse. Very interesting. All 3 favourites by American Deal in this race. Typo, Kango, and the other favourite.
American Ideal.
Yeah.
American Ideal. Yep.
Yeah, they're doing a good job at the moment.
Oh, mate, they're just flying, and they're even better in Australia. So you can see why people love buying them over there. They seem very sound too. Anything else for the night, big fella? For people who are having a bet earlier on, some of our Gallops watchers maybe watching this on the phone and having their coffee on Thursday morning. Happy New Year to you for tomorrow. Anything you like throughout the program, Craig, away from the bigger races?
Like one in the maiden race, Michael, won the last race. So the bookmakers have looked at that race and said they don't know. $3.80 the favourite, $10 the outsider. So you've got a field of 7, very compressed market. This will change immeasurably in before start time. I really like All School Art Nouveau here. Now, David picks up the drive here for Derek Ball. He missed a race about a month ago, and he needed that run last week, and the race at Azana won. And all of these horses are coming out of that race. I thought it was exceptional. If you're going to go back and have a look at the run, it was the widest on the track. He made the most ground. He ran the best splits. I like Art Nouveau, and I like the 750. I don't believe it will last, but if you can get it now, jump aboard.
Big fella, you've done a super job for the punters in 2020. It's been a shit year. I'm glad it's over and done with, and hope everybody backs a winner tonight. To Mark and Natalie and the team at the All-Stars, thank you for all the wonderful memories. We hope to see you back in 2021 at some stage. You and I back on Saturday to talk about Omakau, mate. But I hope you have a great cup night. I know you're on track tonight with Cookie, so good luck. It's great to have you guys back on track. And as we know, we hope that continues in 2021, mate. But yeah, hope you're back a winner.
Thanks, mate.